Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is non-new makeup releases, as you might have noticed on the title, because I'm actually pre-filming this on the Sunday before you're seeing this. This is supposed to go live on Wednesday, and I have a very busy week because we in the Jewish faith have the festival of Purim this week, and for us in Jerusalem it kind of hits Wednesday and I have no time to edit new makeup releases. So that's why I'm going to skip it this week, but I still wanted to have a video up for you, and I wanted to talk about makeup. Okay, obviously. Thing is, I'm starting to rediscover my place here, this filming place and also my makeup collection, because I stopped getting a lot of stuff because I went basically off most of the PR lists, and also I stopped buying a lot of stuff because I have 3 dogs now, so they cost me everything that I used to invest into makeup and more. So I'm kind of going back to my old stuff, the stuff that I have, the big collection that I have, because I've not done a single declutter in my life. Okay, so and I have been enjoying this so much. Now, all those months when I was offline, I just dumped everything here, everything that I've used if I did makeup at all, which was like once a week maybe, because I just needed to like step away from everything and just to be. But I was just dumping everything here, and even back then when I was still getting quite a bit of PR, I just like worked with it a little bit if I had to, and then I just put it here, and it was a big mess. So these last days I have started to sort through my collection and to actually pull all the brands together, you know, kind of like digging through everything and like digging out all the Nomad Cosmetics palettes and digging out all the Unearthly Cosmetics palettes and so on and so forth. I have just done like 4 brands now. Still a lot to do, but in that connection I found so many palettes that I did not know that I have, or I forgot that I had, and that is so cool because it's kind of another new gift now, you know, and I really enjoyed that. So what I'm going to do now today is I wanted to actually do a video about Nomad Cosmetics, because I wanted to show you all my Nomad Cosmetics palettes, because I was so surprised how many I have. I had no idea. But then I used a palette from Saints, Angels, Sinners this morning, so I was like, you know what, let's just do the same thing but with Saints, Angels, Sinners, because I'm already wearing one of her palettes, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, so I'm also going to show you the palette that I used for today's look, but I think I have like 24 palettes here from Saints, Angels, Sinners, and I'm missing a lot that I didn't get because I asked to be taken off the PR list for my time when I was offline. So maybe you know, Saints, Angels, Sinners is of course a small indie brand, and she's coming out with a lot of stuff. Now I also have blushes and I also have lippies, and that is actually something that I want to point out first, because I'm also wearing one of her lippies that I got like a year ago in PR. And unfortunately, I think they're not available anymore. I think she came out with like 10 different shades. I have 3. I have, wait, let me just get them for you. I have these 3 shades. One is, this one is a little bit more brownish. This one is sparkly pink. And this one is the one that I'm wearing today, which is like a, you know, like a thing. Okay, and I love them so much. These are my most favorite lippies in my collection. Really, when it comes to glosses, these are my most favorite ones that I go back to almost every day. No questions asked, you know, and I'm kind of sad that I only have these 3, but they're really nice. I don't remember which other colors were there, and I hope that she's gonna come back with lippies, and hopefully with these, because they were so nice. This was the shade Love, the one that I'm wearing today, and it's so nice. All right, so just wanted to point that out. And with that being said, I think we should go in, and you know what I also wanted to point out is actually how Darcy, the owner, started to develop her feeling for putting colors together, because you see in the shortest time how she advanced in the way she put together palettes. Okay, at least I have that feeling, and I've been speaking about that already a lot here on my channel, and I personally, I get such a kick out of this, to see someone else succeed. Now I wish the brand was bigger and there would be less drama and all of that. Me personally, I have had not a single bad experience with Darcy, and I'm not doing all this herd mentality thing that, you know, one says don't feature her anymore, so everybody has to do it. And I'm bearing the brunt of it also, because a lot of people have turned away from me because I still feature Saints, Angels, Sinners, but I don't care. Even if I would have to shut down this channel tomorrow, I would still be fine, you know? So that's why I don't care. I do not owe anyone anything. I don't owe an explanation for what I'm doing. This is my channel. I can do whatever I want here. Okay, so that is what I want to say. And also what I want to say is, actually this morning I told you, this is going to be chatty. This morning, which is my Sunday morning, and of course in the Jewish religion in Israel, we do have school on Sundays, right? Because our day off is Saturday, Shabbat. So I took my kids this morning to school, and they all had to come today in Purim costumes. So I had this thing, I was actually smiling in the car because I'm just such a girly girl, and I was taking the 4 little ones because the older ones, they go to high school and they use public transportation. So the 4 little ones that are ranging in age from 6 till 10, I took them to the same school and dropped them off there. And one of them, the only girl of those 4 little ones, is Malkiela. She's 8 years old. And for the last days, I have been trying to convince her. Yeah, I've been trying to like talk to her and sit down with her and explain to her how nice it is if she were a princess or a queen or something like that, a fairy, because she has 2 older sisters and she has all the hand-me-downs, and she is the one kid that has everything because she has those 2 older sisters. So she wanted to be a giraffe. So I took her today in a giraffe costume to school. And I was like, this is so strange, but it is so cool that she, of all the girls in her class who are going to come as a princess or a queen or something like that in like a ball gown, and she comes as a giraffe. And she thought this is the greatest thing ever. And I was like, wow, girl, you rock, you know, keep going like this. Because yes, you know, if everybody goes as a queen or as a princess, you go as a monkey or as a giraffe. This is cool. This is actually really, really cool. So I kind of had a switch in my brain this morning when I thought, okay, she wants to be a giraffe, you know, so I want to be myself too. And why should I be told what to do when it comes to stuff like this? Like, really, at the end of the day, what does it really mean, right? So, okay, so let us start now that I've spoken for almost 8 minutes, which is ridiculous, just to do the intro. Please subscribe. Because this is ridiculous. Okay, let us start with the very first palette that I actually got from her in PR, because, sweeties, in my new makeup releases, when I did research, I don't know, now it's almost 2 years back, when I did research, I found that brand. And I was the first one in New Makeup Releases videos who featured her. And that's how Darcy found me, you know? So this was the first palette she came out with. This is the Kindness palette. And I think this was dedicated, or in, I don't know, the kindness theme was about Mother Teresa. Okay, so this is how she looks from the outside. This is a very, very light pink. I don't know if it comes across on camera. In my viewfinder, it looks very white, but it's a super light pink, and this is the color story. Back then, she still had pressed glitters in the palette. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 pressed glitters, and also shimmers and mattes. And you can see, while this palette is cute and everything, this is still a very, very much a standard palette when you think about it. And we will see much more developed and super, super beautiful palettes. Not that this is not beautiful, it is just, it is the beginnings. You know, it is the beginnings. And yeah, and we all have them, right? In our lives, we all have our beginnings, and sometimes we kind of like dip our toe in the water and see how it goes. And, you know, and then we find our way through the scrubs. I don't know. Okay, after that she came out with 2 palettes. So this was the summer release, and then she came out with her fall releases. She came out with 2 palettes, and one was the Sinner palette, which looked like this. This was the outer packaging, and then the inside looks like this. So this is already a very much fall themed palette, but also here I feel this was still very much I don't want to say expected, standard, all of that, but compared to what she's doing now, it was very, very expected for a fall themed palette, you know, with the pumpkin theme and, and a little bit of green, and you know, so, and I don't fault anyone for that, because I think it is a very natural and also very logical thing to do, but you know, there is a development now. Okay, so these have all been discontinued, but I still have them. Okay, so then we also have the Saints palette, which might then have been the Christmas release. I'm not 100% sure. With all the other ones, I don't know where they fit into the order. I just remember the first ones. But yeah, so this looks more like Christmas already, right? So I think this was the order of the first ones. And for everybody who also has followed that brand so far, maybe you remember those palettes. But also here, it is very, very expected. And after that, if you ask me, she started to take off. Now, I wish I had the exact order of things, but I don't, which is, it's a very big shame. Okay, let us just go into this one, Grateful Heart palette. So, so cute. Also the outer packaging. I forgot to ask her, I wanted to ask Darcy what her little logo, I think it's is it a bunny? I think it's a bunny. And it has wings. And I've always wanted to ask her what that is about. Maybe Darcy, if you see this, maybe you can write it in the comments, because I would really like to know. But here you can already see how she is going in a different way, and I really, really like that. I started to really love the brand when I think she also changed the formula, because this was more like standard, and I felt like at some point early on she maybe changed the supplier or something like this, but she fine-tuned her formula, and of course it's not handmade, right? It's made in China, and used a different supplier, and really, really got her formula down, especially when it comes to the shimmers. Especially, you know, mattes are very, very good and fine. I have, regarding the mattes, I do have certain brands that I prefer when it comes to the mattes, where I think for me the formula is even better, but this is a very good solid formula. Okay, it's not like anything where I say, wow, this, I can't work with this. Okay, so in any case, I think this is already super, super pretty, and I don't know if you can see the shift, maybe not, but there, of course, this is here a duochrome, this is a duochrome, this is a duochrome, and this, maybe not. I think this one here is a normal shimmer, the one in the top row in the middle. So, so pretty. I should be faster because this is taking forever. Okay, let's talk about the Cassie palette. Also super, super pretty. I think I remember that this is her neighbor's cat or a friend's cat, I don't know, something like this. And also this, you know, I thought this is one of her best palettes, but I have a lot of favorite palettes when it comes to her. So also here you have, of course, beautiful, beautiful foiled duochromes in this palette, and also the depth is beautiful. And she also knows that I really do not prefer 9-pan palettes and 6-pan palettes, and most of the time this is what she's doing. But you know, I still like it. Okay, let's also look at this one, the Xanadu palette. So, so stunning. Sweeties, this palette, when you work with this palette, you will be blown away. You know, I don't know if it's still available. With all of these things, I have no idea what is available, you know, but so, so stunning. The color scheme, where you see, compared to what she did in the beginning, the way she's going now, it's like a discovery. It is so, so pretty. Okay, let's go into this one. This was the Get Lucky palette. This is an all duochrome palette, super, super light colors, which is really nice because I like to use those palettes when I do looks that I'm, you know, doing like just for fun, when I'm not working with PR, which like barely ever happens anymore. I just like put palettes together that I just want to use together, and then I use palettes like this to either top off the shimmers from the other palette, or to just use those shimmers in the looks and use the mattes from a different palette, you know? So this looks very, very springtime and very cutesy. Yeah. So that is that. Then let's go to, I'm just going to go through the 9-pan palettes first, I think. So this is the Makeup and Chill palette. That was a collab with Funny Butter. And this is also an all duochrome palette. Stunning. There are so many shades that I haven't even touched yet, which is a real, real, real big shame. But I don't know. I'm only now starting to let myself enjoy all of this, because I was always like, how am I going to feature this? You know, because I always had this thing in my head that I have to do one brand looks, you know, and then if I don't have a palette that gives me all the mattes from that brand, so how am I going to use the shimmers? I always had this thing in my head that was blocking me, and I don't have that anymore. So it's actually very, very refreshing and liberating, you know. That was Funny Butter. Then we also have another Funny Butter collab. I honestly don't know what is Funny Butter. I'd like to eat some Funny Butter. Okay, this is the Best Buds palette. This is how she looks. Okay, this is so funny because this shade, no, wait, this shade here looks in the viewfinder like it is a super like hot pink. I don't know how it's going to come across on camera actually, but what I see right now when I'm looking in the viewfinder, it looks like a hot pink. And here, when I look at it from here, it's actually like a rusty red, you know? It's really, really cool. So in any case, you can see hopefully that there are like really, really cool shades in this too. Okay, then we do have the Angel 2 palette. Wait, let's maybe start with the Angel 1 palette, the Angel. That was the first 4-pan palette, and this is also duochrome shades. Now you're not going to see the shifts here. Maybe you do. There is one with a bluish shift. There is like they all have different shifts. It just comes across like white probably for you, but this was the first palette. And also back then when I received this, I used this exclusively as highlighter, even though I think it was meant for the eyes or as inner corner highlight, you know. So that was that. And then she came out with the Angel 2 palette, which looks like this. My dogs are moving the soft boxes. All right, so and this here is also so pretty. This is almost a little bit more my thing than all the extra soft palettes that I just showed you, you know, because they were very springtime light. Well, this is also springtime and light, but I think the blues are doing it for me, you know. This one has a beautiful purple shift, super nice. I just don't want to swatch it right now, because then what I'm gonna do with my dirty hands, you know. But in any case, it's super nice. Okay, let us go to another palette that, just trying to dig through everything here, that I so love, so love, and you will be surprised. This is the Doll Face palette. I just the other day posted on my social media a look with this one. This palette, you cannot do a better 9-pan neutral palette for Leorah. This palette gives me everything. If I would have to have, if I would have to reduce myself to 9 shades and be neutral, I would take this palette. This is my to-go-to neutral palette when it comes to small. I have other ones when it comes to big, but this is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And also here you do have nice duochromes, but a little bit understated also, which is very classy. And the look came out so nice, and so many people commented, so nice to see you in neutrals. You know, it's really nice. Okay. Then let's also talk about this one. This was the Zodiac Signs palette. I think there was then also a Zodiac Signs number 2 palette, which I then didn't get anymore. But this is also a whole palette of duochromes. Even might even be multi-chromes, I don't know. For me, like if I say duochromes, it might also be multi-chromes. So yeah, and here you have of course more colorful options. And the only the only beef I have with this palette, and actually with everything that is Zodiac Signs, is that each time I'm a Leo, and each time in every release, maybe with an exception of one, I just cannot recall the name of it, but there was a release where Leo, I don't know how to say it in English, was not like a gold. It's, yeah, I get it that the lions are that color. I'm just not that, you know. I am just so much more than that. So I kind of, if I were to come out with a Zodiac Signs palette, I would turn everything upside down and go like against the opposite of what everybody else is doing. I would love that. If someone had the balls to do that, that would be great. Yeah, so just saying, I don't personally believe in Zodiac Signs. It means nothing to me. That's why I'm whatever, you know, put whatever color you want. I would have probably chosen, I don't know, this color or this color or this color, you know, just saying. Okay, so let's go into, oh, this one is also really, really pretty. This is pretty. This is the Over the Moon palette. 6-pan palette, very small, but I kind of wish I would have seen this color story more developed in even a 9-pan palette, because look how beautiful, how stunning this palette is. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, the ratio is also nice, 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. I could even go with 4 mattes and 2 shimmers, would also be okay with me. Absolutely beautiful, super stunning. Then March Madness. This is, I think I should just speed up a little bit. This is a little bit, you can see springtime in this one, right? I would probably even put a little bit more depth, like would have maybe made this one a darker purple or something like this. But that is just me, because I like to have those dark shades. But when you think about springtime, this kind of makes more sense than me giving my input, right? So that is that. Then the Guardian Angel palette. This is how this one looked. This one I have used. I was just checking because I didn't recall it, but yeah, it looks used. So this is the Guardian Angel palette. Also, this one is a little bit more classy. You know, even though it is colorful, it kind of looks much more classy, and you can do super beautiful looks with a palette like this, combining those neutrals with color. I love to do that. Like, the older I get, the more I discover the magic to have a neutral crease and then color on the lid. It is always stunning, always, you know? Okay, then we do have the Swim Team palette, a stunning palette. Stunning, super nice. I have used this one a lot. I know it doesn't look very used, but I did actually. And it's a stunning palette. It is so earthy and amazing and soothing, but still dramatic. Really into it. Jello mold is more soft. This is how she looks. I love the depth in it though, because that is really nice. Of course, also when it comes to like very small palettes, I kind of need to have that one darker shade at least, you know. And maybe, I don't know if you see the duochromes in there, but in all of these palettes, they're duochromes. Okay, then we do have the Ace palette, which looks like this. This one I haven't used yet. Haven't gotten around to this. Also, of course, here you do have that one darker shade, which is a dark cold brown, which is really pretty. And then, of course, the lighter shades, which is, well, it's a springtime palette plus a dark shade to be dramatic, you know, and that's really nice. Yeah. Okay, then let's talk about Cupid's Arrow, which is also a purely duochrome / multichrome palette. I don't know. I hope that you can see something of the shiftiness. Super pretty. Also, this I like to use in combination with other palettes and as topper shades. Then Angel Baby. Angel Baby. Also an all duochrome palette. Super nice and dark shades, right? Super pretty. And now we are getting to the one palette that I've used for today's look, which is also one of my most favorite palettes when it comes to the 6-pan palettes, and that is the Not Like Other Girls palette. And this is kind of what I should put that as a hashtag under every one of my posts. Every one of my posts, not everyone. And that's this one, Sweeties. Not Like Other Girls. It is a spectacular palette. So nice. Now here I have this one thing that basically you have 2 mattes only. And that is this one and this one. And that is almost too little for me, you know? But I mean, you can make stunning looks, and you kind of have to have a purple crease in a way, right? So I find that a little bit limiting. I would like, again, this color scheme developed into a bigger palette, 9 shades, 12 shades, something like that. I would love to see what she would do with this, you know? So that's awesome. And then the last palette that I haven't shown, no, there's another one. This is the Egg Hunt palette, also a quad, and of course a all duochrome palette. I say also quad because we had the Angel palette before, which was also a quad. All right, so this is that. And then the one remaining palette that is actually bigger was the collab Follow Your Dreams palette. That was a collab with Natalie, which is Smink Berende. I never know how to pronounce it. And this is what this one looks like. super, super pretty. And of course, this time the color scheme was of course chosen by Natalie, and she is super, super amazing when it comes to makeup. I have already spoken about her so many times here on my channel when it came to following the right people on Instagram who are actually really, really talented. She is the one for me. You know, I'm going to put her Instagram handle down here so you can go and visit her. Okay, so that is it, sweeties. Yeah, I just definitely wanted to show you and to chat with you about makeup because it is so much fun. And I don't know, again, what is still available, but even if none of this is still available, I think some of the things she still has or is coming back or restocking or something. So you'll have to go and check that for yourself. But even if she were not to have any of these palettes ever again, I know that she is a creative mind and she will come out with amazing stuff in the future. I know it, you know, because I've been watching her for almost 2 years now. This summer is going to be 2 years, and I have been liking her creativity, the way she approaches colors and concepts and all of that is really, really nice. And the speed, how she's doing everything, I have no idea. No idea how she's doing it. Okay, sweeties, this is it from me for today. From me and from my kids that are giraffes, and I also have an Aquaman, and I have a Marvel's Avenger, and I have a policeman, and all kinds of stuff. So we are all over the place here. This is going to be a bit of an exhausting week because my kids are home for 3 days. There is a lot of celebration going to happen, and for me, not so easy, because maybe you can imagine, as a mother of 7 with guests coming and you yourself are suffering from an eating disorder and you have to prepare food and host and all of that and have everybody at home and constantly on your head, everybody. It is not that easy, but by the time you're seeing this, it's all going to be fine. It's all going to be over, and I will have made it. Next week I'm going to come back, of course, with new makeup releases. I hope you'll come back for that too. I love you so much. Please, of course, subscribe if you want to. Leave me your comments in the comment section and give the video a like, because that kind of helps on YouTube. But beyond that, I just love you, and I wish you a happy Purim if you're Jewish, and a wonderful week if you're not. And beyond that, just go ahead and sparkle. I'll see you next week. Bye.